What is going on, guys? Jake Does Hurdles back at it again with another Pokemon Go PvP video, and in today's video we're going to be recapping my Architect Cup practice tournament. I know you guys got a lot of regionals coming up. Those of you that play Silph competitively, your regional is going to be hectic, so watching this video could give you an input on what you're going to see in this meta. So in game number one, match number one, in round number one, we're up against Avalon 3001. They've got Shadow Beedrill, Shadow Snorlax, Lapras, Pelipper, Cradily, and Frostlass paired against my Muck, Snorlax, Shadow Poliwrath, Frostlass, Castform, and Milotic. I like Milotic and Castform because they're safe swap ability. Not too many counter users in this meta, obviously, to threaten the Castform. And Milotic is not resisted by anything, so those Dragon Tails are going to eat up basically everything. And you're going to see that Shadow Poliwrath with energy can do damage. Snorlax is pretty safe, and Muck is one of the best Pokemon in this cup. So without further ado, guys, let's get into game number one. I'm bringing Milotic because it's not really resisted by anything on its team. I don't really want to see Lapras because that would be kind of an annoying matchup. Pelipper wouldn't be the greatest either, and neither would Cradily, obviously, because of the super effective damage. But we can still do some pretty good chip damage with those Dragon Tails, obviously. So let's get into game number one, guys. So game number one, we are going to be leading our Milotic, and we are going to lead Milotic into the Beedrill. So this isn't a bad lead for us. We're going to experiment with this Milotic a little bit. It's the first time I'm running it in Silph play, so Dragon Tails are doing a ton of damage on the Shadow here. And then our goal here is to race to 2. So we are going to shield this first one, assuming it is going to be Drill Run. Would do a ton of damage. End up shielding an X-Scissor, so not my favorite. So now we want to farm this thing until it's about in KO range. And then we accidentally overcharge one, but we get our Surf off here, which is good. They're going to have to shield, putting us in a good position to farm them down with whatever is in the back for us. So the Dragon Tail goes through. I'm going to choose not to shield here. Even if it is Drill Run, it's perfectly fine. It's X-Scissor, does not KO, and I'm going to get to my Surf, which is really great. Little undercharge there so I don't tap my Dragon Tail. And this is going to KO this Beedrill or force a shield early on in game one. So no shield, I take switch advantage. And out comes Pelipper. This is great when you have a Muck, because Muck is going to hard wall this thing. All you got to do is farm up to those Thunder Punches. You can just load them up. We are going to choose not to shield this because we know this is not Hurricane, so that's really good. Weather Balls are going to chunk me, but I'd rather keep, obviously, the Thunder Punches loaded. So we're going to try to beat them to the next one. Snorlax comes in. I'm going to Thunder Punch once here. See if I can get this thing a little bit low, because I do not like what is in the back awaiting me. I do not like Snorlax. So I'm going to go into Castform, and I'm like, okay, I want to get to one Energy Ball here. I know I can take one Superpower to the face. If I get to one Energy Ball, then I can get this thing in farmable range for my Muck. No shields here. We just want them to drop their defense. If they Body Slam, we're in great shape, and that makes us feel a lot better. Body Slam comes out. That's good. Throw the Energy Ball. They're probably going to have to shield here if they want to keep this Snorlax alive. This is going to take it to at least 10% health, which will give me a good farmable opportunity for my Muck. So it's down low. Can I Hex it down? I don't know. I'm not going to shield because I can come in with my Muck, get the energy I need for the Pelipper in the back, and be just fine. Out comes Body Slam. Even better. We're going to try to Hex it down. Gonna get close here, guys. We get the Hex down. That's huge. So ideally, we just throw Weather Balls here. That's all we got to do. This is going to do a pretty good chunk of damage, and we might be able to get to another one. But if we can get the shield, then it's GG's. Shield's down. Game over. Watch Castform work. And now in comes Muck with loaded energy and a loaded Thunder Punch. And that's going to be a GG in game number one of the Architect Cup practice tournament via the Thunder Punch KO on the 4-time super effective Pelipper. So moving into game number 2 against Avalon, we're going to be bringing this Frostlass out here because we saw that flying strat there. And I'm like, okay, not good. Don't like this in the front, and I have Castform in the back, so I'm like, alright, I gotta play out of this scenario. I think this is probably the best case scenario, is to play it out, draw shields, and maybe get a farm down with my Muck or my Castform, because obviously we're kind of trying to bring this Frostlass, because I assume Cradily would come to counter the Milotic as well, but we're gonna get out of this situation in a pretty good way. We know we don't have to shield this. It's gonna be body slam. If it is superpower, they drop their defense and their attack, which is good for me. So we're gonna hopefully be able to farm this thing down. It doesn't appear so we're just gonna throw our move here and just play out that no shield matchup. That Shadow's doing way too much damage, which is no good, but that's fine. Are we gonna take a shield? We do not. So we're gonna take switch advantage, which is very important. And we have Shadow Beedrill with 2 Poison Jab advantage. We know that we want to keep this Pelipper alive for the back because they have Lapras. They could have, we want to keep our Muck alive for the back because they could have Pelipper or Lapras. Excuse me. So in this situation, we just throw straight Weather Balls. It's going to be super effective. That's a Shadow Beedrill. Beedrill is not very thick, especially in Shadow form. So 1 is going to almost KO. So I'm like, okay, why aren't they shielding? I'm not shielding. If they're not shielding, what are we doing here? Let's just do it. Drill Run first. Kind of hurts. I'm going to go straight into Muck so I can farm this thing down. Out comes Credilli. Okay. Let's see how good the Muck is, man. Obviously, we're going to be resisting these Grass Knots here, but those Stone Edges are going to be hurting, so I'm going to go straight for the Dark Pulse here. No baits. No baits allowed. And they're going to not shield. So now they're in a situation. Now I can just farm down or Thunder Punch. I'm going to choose to shield here. I think that I would go straight Stone Edge. That's probably one of the win cons. Out comes Grass Knot, so I take the bait. Perfectly fine with me because I'm pretty sure that I'm in a situation to just farm down. I know they have to shield this. Even if it is going to be resisted, it's going to be chunking because they're way too low at this moment in time. So I did the right thing by throwing that Dark Pulse first. Now they're pretty low. I can almost farm down. Pretty sure. So in this situation, I'm not going to shield because now I think they need the bait. And I get duped again. There goes the Stone Edge, but they're way too low. I'm going to be able to farm this thing down and be loaded up for the Beedrill in the back, which is great. I have the Thunder Punch ready. And this will KO if it does land. Will it land? It does. They forego their last shield, and it's going to be a GG in game number 2. Alright, we're getting into game number 3 here, guys. Against Avalon, I've already won the match. 1-0 in the first round. But we're going to go the Muck lead into the Lapras here. I figured that he'd keep Credilli in the back, so just kind of stay away from that. And this is a pretty good situation for us, though Lapras is chunking. I'm going to choose not to shield here because I know this is not Skull Bash, so that's really good. And I can take the Surf to the face, and then I will be able to get off a Thunder Punch and then hopefully another Thunder Punch, as that would be the goal. So Thunder Punch is going to go through here, unshielded, and then we're going to get to the next one first, which is great. That means that they're going to be forced to shield or forced to let their Lapras go and give me switch advantage. So we still have both of our shields up. Don't know if I lost a little bit of moves there, but they're going to throw their energy. I'm fine with giving up switch advantage, their energy dry, and I can come in with something and farm down this Lapras. Now, what do I want to be loaded on my team? Let's take guesses, guys. I'm going to bet that I'm going to come in with Poliwrath, because this thing with loaded energy is crazy. Don't have to shield here. This is a Surf. Shadow Poliwrath can do so much damage. The only thing it does not want to see is that Frostlass. That's why we brought the cast form for a check as well. So what do we see in the back? It looks like they're going double ice. So in this situation, I'm going to go straight into cast form, and I'm going to farm up this energy. Just keep farming until they throw. I'm going to choose to shield because an unshielded cast form isn't the worst thing, but anything coming from Frostlass is going to do a ton of damage. So we're going to choose to shield, and in comes Beedrill. This is a very good situation for us. All we need is 2 Weather Balls, and we should be good. So we're going to throw 1 right here. We have another one stacked, which is great, which will KO after the subsequent Hex. So there goes a Hex, an Overtap. I don't know what was happening there. We're going to shield, probably an X Scissor, but that's perfectly fine. Now I'm in the situation where I kind of have to farm a little bit. So I'm going to farm. I have 1 loaded, which is great. For the Frostlass, I need to do the super effective damage in the back, because obviously Frostlass gets a little scary. So now we're going to attempt to farm this thing down. We do not get it, so this could be bad. Could be a bad situation for us, guys, but let's see how it works out. X Scissor goes through. It does not KO, but we're going to be able to farm down, or it does KO. We're going to be able to farm down this Beedrill, and we're going to be throwing Dynamic Punches here. Obviously, Ice Punch is going to be resisted. So is Dynamic Punch here because of the Ghost typing. But it's doing a ton of damage. You want to know why, guys? Shadow Poliwrath. So if you got a Shadow Poliwrath, get some play with it. I mean, Dynamic Punch just did half to a Froslass, and it's going to end up winning me this game in the back. And it's going to be a GG as I win round number 1, 3-0 over Avalon, 3-0-0-1. Alright, moving into round number 2. We are 1-0 with 3 battles won and 0 battles lost. We're facing Bellsprout 25. This team has got some spice, it has got some spam, and it has got 0 bulk. Other than maybe Quillfish. Froslass a little bulky, Shiftry not as bulky. Really, Pelipper doesn't want to take anything from most of my team here. Drapion's got some bulk, but more on the spam side. So we got spammy Quillfish, spammy spammy Drapion, spammy Shiftry, and obviously the spammy Pelipper as well. It looks like a fun team. I think my team matches up pretty well because of the cast form, and because of the Melodic as well, once again, because nothing is going to be resisted here. The Dragon moves aren't going to be resisted by anything over here. Obviously the Shiftry could be a problem, but I think we can handle that very well with our Froslass as well as Muck. So without further ado, let's get into battle number 1 against Bellsprout. I have my team locked in, and we are going to be bringing the Melodic first right into Froslass. So this is an okay matchup for us, obviously. We like to see it. I'm not really a fan of Froslass in lead, but if I can have it in lead and not in the back spamming my Pokemon, that's great. So we're going to farm up to the Surf. I'm not counting at all, so I'm going to be choosing to shield here. Or no shield. Well, I know shield. I wasn't counting at all. Something you probably should do if you're playing the game. So in this situation, I'm going to Hyper Beam the Poliwrath here. I know that I can lock this thing with my Muck, and if I can get a shield here, then I can really run through this back line. I don't get a shield, but this means I'll get a farm down with my Muck, as well as a win-win situation for me. I'm going to choose to no shield here, because I believe this is Ice Punch. And it is, so I'm going to be able to do so much damage here with these Poison Jabs, get a move loaded up for whatever comes in. And I'm assuming that's going to be Froslass, especially if Shiftry's in the back. So we are going to see a Drapion come in. So Drapion is a problem child for our team. It has been a problem child in the scrims, but luckily we've got Muck locked on it here. We've got a Thunder Punch loaded up, which is great, and we've still got that Melodic alive to sort of deal with it. Ideally, this is the best case scenario for us here. We have our cast form on the back locked on the Froslass. We don't have the shield here. Even if this does drop our defense, we should get to another move. They're confused why we don't shield. That's perfectly fine. We get a Thunderbolt off, or a Thunder Punch here. And hopefully they don't farm us down. That's kind of my worry here. So I'm like, okay, I got to go straight into Milotic. Out comes Froslass. I'm doing so much damage with these Dragon Tails. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to shield. I can just farm this thing down with cast form, and then I should be loaded in the back with energy to beat this Froslass. So out comes the cast form, I'm assuming. Cast form comes out. The goal is going to be to farm down this Froslass, get loaded on energy for the Drapion in the back. We're going to be shielding whatever the Froslass throws at us, because that's going to be stronger than anything the Drapion's going to be throwing at us, just because Froslass is a tank. So Avalanche comes through. We have got 2 Weather Balls loaded up. All we gotta do is start throwing Weather Balls, and that's gonna be enough to KO this Drapion. So they've got 2 shields up. We gotta get those shields out of the way, obviously. So down goes 1 shield, and down goes another as we spam the second Weather Ball through that we had loaded up from the Froslass farm down. And we are gonna go into the race to the charge move here. So I'm going to choose to shield the first one. I don't really like where I'm at right now. Probably should save it for the second one, but I'm afraid I'll get farmed down if I do get a defense drop. So we shield the first one. It's going to prove to be a good decision because we get straight to the Weather Ball. And CMP tie here, perfectly fine. I know that nothing they have can KO me from here. And I know that my Weather Ball is going to KO them from where they are at right now. And we are going to take a GG in game number 1 of round 2 in the Architect Cup practice tournament hosted by Flash Tournaments for Everyone, guys. You should get on that Discord if you haven't. I have the Discord linked under the YouTube video, so get in that Discord, guys, if you want to play more practice tournaments. Let's go on to round number 2. Or round number 2, game number 2. Moving into round number 2, game number 2. We have got a Shadow Polyrath lead into a Shiftry lead. So this is going to be our first blunder of the day. How are we going to respond to this? So I'm going to stay in this lead, and I'm going to be farming. And I farm the whole way up to Ice Punch, and I choose to no shield a Leaf Blade for my Shadow Shiftry. And you're going to see what happens to Shadow Polyrath when you do that. You get one-shotted. So I'm like, okay, this is a very bad situation. So I'm going to go into my Muck, and I'm going to farm this thing down. I'm counting Leaf Blades or Bullet Seeds to see where they're at. They're at Foul Play. I know I have to shield this. Shiftry can be a menace if you give it energy and you give it shields. Our goal is to take it out of the game right now, and then we won't have to deal with it in the back. So I'm loaded on energy. What could we possibly face in the back? What do we want to see? We have got a Polyrath. It's a very good situation for us. We have a ton of energy. We're just going to go straight Thunder Punch here. That's all we need to do. We win this matchup so hard in every shield scenario, which is great. So we're going to go back-to-back, draw a shield here, and then we're hoping that they have Frostlass in the back to lock on our cast form. So I'm going to be racing to this charge move here. I'm going to choose to shield because I do like my Muck healthy, because if it's Pelipper in the back, then I could really take advantage of it as well. And we're going to keep farming this thing. Move comes through. Hopefully not Dynamic Punch, obviously. Would do a little bit more damage than the Ice Punch. But our goal here is to farm this thing down. We cannot. And it's Pelipper in the back, which is great for us. So we're going to, tap this thing with a Thunder Punch. If they don't shield, if they do shield, it's game over. So they did shield, so this Thunder Punch is going to do 4 times super effective damage. It is going to KO this Pelipper, so now we're in great shape. We know that that Polyrath is low. We're going to go straight into our cast form and try to farm this thing down so we can get energy for the Polyrath that is extremely low. I believe that Rock Weather Ball should do the trick, but we shall see. So we are hexing once again. Rock Weather Ball goes off here. That's going to be a GG, guys. So we came back from an absolute blunder to start round 2, game number 2 by not shielding the Shiftry, but it turns out we need those shields for the back because we had such a strong back alignment. So GG's in that game number 2. Going into game number 3, we are locking in Muck lead here. I feel confident with Muck. It's beaten most of the team, and we are going to get that hard counter. Well, hard win on our side here. And then in comes Frostlass. I'm going to do something I don't really do that often here, and I'm going to go up to a Dark Pulse. Because I know I kind of have positive matchups in the back with Frostlass and Cast Form, so I'm going to no-shield the first one, and I'm going to choose to go straight into my Cast Form as soon as they throw their energy. So I have emptied energy Frostlass. I can throw Rock Weather Balls here and hopefully put them in a situation where they have to shield, or I can farm them down. And this is going to be a great situation for me because I'm going to get another shield from this thing, hopefully. They're going to try to grab a shield from me, perfectly fine. So maybe they won't shield this next move. But they might be trying to flip switch advantage because it might be their only win con. So we're going to farm just a little bit more. Hopefully we don't make a mistake here with our counting, and we do. Should have thrown 1 earlier. I'm going to choose not to shield this because I think that I can survive an Avalanche. Prove that I can. Cast Form is bulky. We are going to Rock Weather Ball here. If they double shield, that's a great situation for us. Even if they do farm us down, we have energy in the back with Muck. No shield comes up. And then out comes probably Pelipper to farm me down so they can get some energy for the Muck so they have a chance. Out comes the Pelipper, and I overtap for some reason, thinking I can get to the other move. But this is fine. We have a Thunder Punch ready to go, and this is going to KO if not draw a shield here. No shield was drawn, so we go straight into Frostlass for the farm down. We're going to no shield here. No reason to. We have to save that shield for the back because we do not know what's in the back. It's going to be Trapeon. Glad we saved the shield. So let's see how fast this Frostlass can farm. Farmlass, let's get it. So, one charge move comes through. A shield comes up. That's great for me. And we're in kind of a tough spot. I'm going to choose to shield. Prove to shield the crunch. Good job. Now we're going to be racing to the charge move here. Who will win? Frostlass wins CMP, which is great. And we are going to Avalanche the Drapion here, which is going to almost KO. But Drapion is going to get the crunch here. Muck is going to be able to come in here and farm down the Drapion, letting me load up to Thunder Punch here. And I need one Poison Jab to get Thunder Punch, and I do get it to win against my opponent Bellsprout in game number 3, round number 2 here, guys, to move to a perfect 6-0 with 2 wins and 0 losses in the tournament. Alright, getting into game number 1 of round number 3 here. He's got Beware, Pelipper, Shadow Drapion, Credilli, Muck, and Lapras. All some problem Pokemon. Haven't seen Beware at all this tournament yet, so it'd be kind of cool to see it. I've obviously seen it in the scrims. This is a bad lead for me. So we're going to choose to just use our unresisted Dragon Tails here and just farm up a ton of energy. Try to catch a Thunder Punch on our own Muck. We are going to do so. And we are going to be able to farm whatever comes in, which is good. Muck is really good as a safe swap in this cup, just because of how many good matchups it has in the one shield scenario with everything and with energy. Didn't get any energy there, but we are at even shields, which is great. And Lapras comes in, and I know that I can take a shield from this Lapras, which is good, doing super effective damage with these Thunder Punches. So our goal is to get one Poison Jab before our next Thunder Punch. Throw this Thunder Punch here. That will put it within KO range for the second one, forcing them to shield. So we can at least get back to neutral in terms of shields and alignment, even though we lost lead and switched out on purpose. So we are going to be going straight for the Thunder Punch here. They're not going to let us get it, so they're going to Surf. This is a perfectly fine scenario here because we feel that we can farm this thing down. And we're going to come in with either Cast Form or Melodic, but I choose to come in with Cast Form here, get more of a farm down. But here's the problem, guys. We make our second mistake of the tournament, other than the Shift Tree blunder. The Shift Tree blunder was bad, but this is up there. So we're going to choose to farm the Lapras the entire way down, and that doesn't happen because the Lapras is a thick. So I probably got a little ambitious here. I was 1 hex away, so it wasn't that unfounded. And I'm going to have to shield here, which is something I don't want to do because we've got a Muck doing super effective damage to my Melodic in the back. And we haven't even seen the third Pokemon yet. Lapras has kind of run through our whole team. We're shields down a little too early. I overtap on a Hex, which is bad as well. So we're going to get this Weather Ball off here. And I know that I have loaded energy on my Milotic, so I can go straight into that and probably put some shield pressure on. That's the goal. I overtap a Dragon Claw or Dragon Tail again, which is bad for me, but it is also going to put it into KO range from this Surf, from the bulky Melodic. So shields are down. What's in the back? I obviously have no shields, so I am going to be no shielding this Thunder Punch here. Melodic's going to be able to take it to the face, though, because it is so bulky. And we are going to be able to get to a Surf here. Ideally, I probably should have tried to farm down and maybe seen if I could have went with that energy into the back. I think that's my only win con here. So you're going to see us go back into the Cast Form here in a little bit. It's Credilli in the back. Credilli has got 3 Bullet Seeds. That means they're 1 away from Grass Knot, which is very bad. We're going to go for our Energy Ball here to see if we can Defense Drop and then maybe get a Weather Ball. But that's still not going to be enough because they just got their 4th Bullet Seed in, which means they're loaded up to Grass Knot. 5th one here for Stone Edge, I believe, or 5th one for Grass Knot on the first one. I don't remember how it goes. Haven't played Credilli in a long time. But whatever they throw, it is going to KO because we are too low. There's a lot of rhymes right there, and there's an L right there. For the first time we lost in this tournament, let's see if we can come back and rebound here. Going into game number 2 of round number 3 in the Silph practice tournament for the Architect Cup, the regionals meta. I've got Frostlass and Muck. I know I'm going to win the one shield scenario, so I'm going to play that out. They're going to bring in their Lapras, and I'm going to choose to do some pretty good chip damage here, get this thing to within KO range of my Muck or my Cast Form with their charge moves. So I'm going to choose to not shield the Silph. I'm perfectly fine letting this go through. Once again, save the shield for the back. I've got my Shadow Ball off here. I must have tapped it just a turn late there, or I would have definitely won CMP. So we're going to Shadow Ball, no shield. As soon as I see the no shield, I go into Muck, and I'm like, okay, I can either farm this down or throw. What are we going to do? What's the plan? So the move comes through, and I'm like, all right, do I want to keep this thing healthy? I'm going to, and I'm gonna keep this thing very healthy. I'm gonna attempt to either farm down here or throw my energy immediately. So I choose to go for the farm down. I'm gonna get extra loaded on my energy, and I once again make a mistake here, but we still have a ton of energy. We have a good bit of health, and we're gonna farm down this Lapras. We're going to take switch advantage too, which is great. Take switch advantage with this much energy. It's a good situation. So we're going to see Muck coming in. We're going to go for the little bit damage heavy Dark Pulse here. This is going to do a bigger chunk than those Thunder Punches. But we don't think we're going to get to another Dark Pulse. Oh, we do. We get to another Dark Pulse, which is kind of big here, guys. So what's in the back that can beat our Muck and Frostlass still alive back there, so we're going to choose to just let go this Muck. We have Frostlass here that we could possibly get a farm down with, and we have the Cast Form as well. So what are we going to come in here with, guys? It doesn't matter. We don't really know what's in the back yet, but it's Cradilly, so this is a very good situation for us. We can choose to literally just keep spamming. Ideally, we just keep ramping it up. There's many ways that we can win this. They have 2 shields. We need to get their shields down first. That's step 1. We have the Frostlass, which is great. And we're going to try to catch a move on our Cast Form. Not my favorite, but we're just going to go straight Weather Balls here, because obviously these are not going to be resisted, because Rock doesn't resist Rock, because weird Pokemon typings. And we are going to be throwing those good neutral Weather Balls. Are going to be very spammy, and if we can get this thing just down into farm down range for our Frostlass, we are going to win the game. Snow Edge comes through, not my favorite moment. But we're going to beat them to the 3rd charge move, I believe. So when they try to go for the 3rd charge move, I decide that I need shield here. We're going to race to Weather Ball number 3. So ideally, we don't want to throw on Muck. That's our lose condition. So we get the Weather Ball off right here. And we are going to throw this, which would almost KO here. And then we're going to get to the next one at about the same time. I'm going to get to my Weather Ball here. I'm going to throw my Weather Ball, and we're going to see where this is going to put this Frostlass, or this Cradilly at, and we're going to see if we need Frostlass to come in. I go instant into Frostlass, so I can farm it down. And now I have farmed down the Muck, and I'm loaded with energy. Frostlass wins CMP over everything. GG's in game number 2 of round number 3. We got the comeback started. We're going to move to 7-1. All we need is one more victory to clutch out this tournament and show you guys a little bit more about this cup. So going into game number 3, I'm a little bit afraid of Drapion. I haven't seen it enough, and I think it's going to be coming out to play in game number 3, so I'm going to choose to bring my Snorlax for the first time in the entire tournament. We're going to lead Frostlass and a Muck. We know that's positive for us in the 1 shield scenario. That's the only one that I win, so I'm going to take that scenario and abuse it. So this is why we brought the Snorlax, sort of just to be a cushion for the Drapion. We're still going to lose because it's Shadow Drapion. It does way too much damage, and it can debuff us with Crunch. So we are going to choose to stay in, no shield, get debuffed. Attack dropped does not go through, which is great. We're going to choose to hopefully go up to 2 body slams here. I'm going to choose to shield this. And we're going to spam off these body slams in a second here, guys. So they throw Aquatail. Very good job by them. They get the bait they needed. I have 1 body slam loaded. I need 1 more lick for the second one. This is going to chunk pretty good damage here because it is Shadow Drapion here. Even though Drapion does have a little bit of bulk, it's still basically just a spammy boy. And this is a tough situation for me. I choose to no shield here, and I'm going to superpower. Can I live this? It is an Aquatail. I'm going to live an Aquatail. I'm pretty low, and it forces me into my charge move. It was a new part of the update, and I'm only going to be able to hit a great, or I hit an excellent, actually. Nice, very nice. and the superpower is going to get shielded as well. So I'm going to go straight into Frostlass because I know that I don't want them to farm me down. And I'm like, okay, I need to get to this move as fast as possible. There's shields down. I have Frostlass. If I can get this thing out of the way, I'm going to run free in the back. Frostlass is going to get to that Avalanche first, and then boom, shields are down. I have a Frostlass that's shielded, and it's healthy. And that is the worst thing for any type of Pokemon if you don't got a Bastiodon. So our goal here is to just farm energy, let them throw. Back is Credilli. That's going to be a GG. We are not afraid of a single thing. Once we see Credilli unshielded, I have 2 Avalanches. I can just throw back to back if I need to. It appears that I will not have to. I'm going to farm down the Credilli. Shield if I need to, which is perfectly fine. And I know that if Muck does come in, I'm going to win CMP tie, so that's why I can farm this thing down. Because I'm not afraid of them throwing a Dark Pulse against me, because I know that I'm going to win CMP no matter what. I've got the Dark Pulse, or the Avalanche ready. This is going to put this thing very, very low, if not KO. So it puts it in almost farmable range for Hex, which is kind of crazy. If this is Thunder Punch, obviously it does not KO. It's going to be a Dark Pulse. This will KO, but we've got our Cast Form in the back. We're going to go into our Snorlax because we don't want to show them what's in the back yet. And then I'm like, okay, I should show them what's in the back because I knew I had the game wrapped up just so they could see it, so they could see, you know, for their own practice and their team comps, how they did in terms of prediction and setting up their team to beat mine. But I'm going to take a GG in game number 3 there. Big comebacks to move me to 3-0 and 8-1 overall. Alright guys, so I finished 3-0, 8-1 in the Architect Cup practice tournament hosted by Flash Tournaments for us. Once again guys, get that link in there if you want to play Silph tournaments, even Open Great League tournaments. They have them. They have auto direct tournaments. They have a lot of fun on that Discord server. I practice there all the time. The best practice server around, I promise you. So I won 3-0, 8-1 overall. If this video helped you, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what is working for you in Architect Cup. If you want to see more battles, please let me know. I have tons of battles left over from Architect Cup in different tournaments, scrims, and stuff like that. I will gladly post them. If you guys want to see more GBL, head over to my Twitch. I'm streaming tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. I'm starting at 9 Eastern Standard Time. I'm playing Kanto Cup. I'm up to about 24-20 MMR. So I'm getting up there, guys. I'm going to be climbing. The goal is to crack Vet tonight, maybe get Expert in the next couple days. I got diagnosed with COVID, so I'm kind of just hanging out. But if you're from the United States, I hope you have a good 4th of July weekend. If not, have a good Monday. That's important too. Thank you guys so much for watching, guys. Once again, Jake Does Hurdles on Twitch. Jake Does Hurdles on Twitter. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, Hurdle fam.